Hi there, Sarah Dean here with Fit Healthy Moms, and I want to talk to you today about the 4 P's of weight loss and fat loss for moms. So there's a million things on your plate, I know, and when it comes to weight loss and fat loss, a lot of times we get wrapped up in the number on the scale and we don't really think about all these other things that are going on with our body and kind of where the significance in it all lies. So I encourage my moms to focus on 4 different things as you're going through this transformation process in terms of losing baby weight, getting fit, finding the body that you've always wanted, or getting your body back if you had an awesome body before and you've wondered what happened to it. So the first P is practicing. Recognize that as you make changes in your diet and as you make changes with your exercise, that it's just a matter of practicing little things every single day. And you're gonna have to practice over and over and over. It's not a matter of being good for 1 week and then thinking that you have it all down. When I have moms come through my weight loss programs, a lot of times they do really, really well in the first week and they're really on top of it. And they get a little cocky after that first week and they're like, oh yeah, I got this down, I know what to do. And then they stop writing down their food, or they work out a little bit less, or they stop drinking as much water. And they forget that they need to practice these behaviors over and over. Things that you practice over and over are what become habits and what become routines in your life. But it takes many, many times of doing something over and over for it to become a full routine and something that you do without even thinking about doing. So for me, I don't really think about if I'm going to work out or not work out on any given day, because it's something I've done for so many years now that I always know it's going to happen. It's not something that's negotiable. But when I first started out running, which was the first exercise I ever did, every single day was a struggle. And every single day I had to practice the mindset of, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this 3 times this week, and I'm going to make sure I get it done, and I'm going to put an X on my calendar every time I do it. And it was just a matter of practicing that routine until it became a habit. And it takes a while. It takes sometimes months, sometimes years. Same thing with making healthy food choices. It's a matter of practicing having a cup of tea in the evening instead of having ice cream. And you might have to practice that 30, 40, 50, 100 times before it becomes something that you do automatically without thinking about it. So consider that you're going to just be practicing over and over and over. If you've ever done yoga, it's similar to that, where it's not a matter of perfecting it in the first week or the first month. It's just a matter of continually practicing new habits until those habits become routine. The next P is patience. So patience can be a really tough one. I'm very guilty of not being very patient. So I like to get on the scale every single morning, and I like that number to be what I want it to be and what I feel like I earned from the day before. So if I worked out really hard yesterday and I ate really well yesterday, then that scale should say exactly what I think it should say in terms of having maybe lost a pound or stayed the same weight if I'm looking to maintain my muscle mass. So you have to back off from the scale and you have to be patient with the process, and that can be the hardest thing for people. And especially after that first week, if you've been working really hard and you haven't seen a lot of change on the scale, it's really easy to get frustrated, throw in the towel, and just think, it's not working for me. This isn't the right thing for me. And a lot of times it's a matter of being patient over the course of a month before you see change. I work with moms who work really, really hard for a month and maybe only lose a couple pounds, but all of a sudden at the end of a month, they're wearing a totally different size pants. And that is hugely valuable. Sometimes it's not about the scale at all. Sometimes it's really about your body changing and transforming, and sometimes you don't see that in the first few days. You might not see it in the first couple of weeks. So it's really about being patient with the process and recognizing that the process is really significant. It's not about getting to whatever size you want to be. It's not about finally losing those 10 pounds. It's about what happens as you go through that whole process in terms of becoming a more healthy person, a more fit person, being a role model for your children, having healthier eating habits in your whole family so that everyone is healthier. Increasing your lifespan by being at lower risk for cancer and cardiovascular disease and diabetes. That's all part of being patient with the process. The third P is performance. So if you're a busy mom, you do not have a moment to waste in your day. When it comes to performance and exercise, I want you to work out, and I want you to work out hard, and I don't want you to work out long. So if you're really focused on performance, if you're focused on getting in those workouts consistently, it doesn't matter if they're long or short. Actually, a lot of times shorter is better. If you're doing some high intensity stuff for a short amount of time, you're going to get a better metabolic benefit in many cases. And so keeping that performance up, keeping it high intensity, getting as much as you can in as short as period of time, and then being consistent about your performance is going to be really, really significant for long-term change and also for maintaining that long-term change once you've met your goal. The fourth and final P is pacing. This can be a really tough one, especially if patience is really hard for you. So pacing is really important. Because what can happen is at the beginning of a program, the beginning of a time when you make a lot of changes, you go all balls out. You make a million different changes. You change everything you're eating. You add in a ton of new workouts. You're getting everything that you can possibly do in that first week or two. And then you're completely overwhelmed and a kid gets sick or you get sick or your spouse gets sick and you fall off the wagon because it was too much at one time and you can't maintain it as life comes around and gives you some punches to roll with. And then you fall off the wagon and you just lose it all. And it takes you months to get back to that starting point again. So when it comes to pacing, think about adding 1 or 2 things every week. So it might be in that first week or two that you have a few things going on. You're making some changes in your diet, you're writing down all your food, you're getting in your workouts. But then from there, every week or two, just tweak 1 or 2 things. Don't change a million things in your life all at one time so that it's a huge source of stress for you. Instead, make it something that you can manage over time, so then there'll be changes that you stick with. And that will allow you to continue just practicing a new thing every week. And that'll make it easier to be patient with the process if you're not feeling overwhelmed by the process. So really important, if you're looking for long-term fat loss and long-term weight loss that you're going to actually keep off, pacing is really, really important. It's more important for you to pace yourself and lose 20 pounds over 6 months and keep it off for the rest of your life than it is for you to go balls out, lose it in 4 to 6 weeks, and then gain it back within just a few months after. So think about pacing in terms of a way of regulating yourself for long-term sustainable change when it comes to weight loss and fat loss. All right, so that's all I got for today. I'll see you soon at fithealthymoms.com. Have a great day.